Greetings, fellow Wastelanders. This is Ben Yee with my current Fallout 4 character, Furiosa, at Finch Farm. Recently, I posted a no-mod build at home plate, and one of my feature pieces was a fireplace. I received some requests to create a video showing how to create this set piece, so here we are at Finch Farm, where I'll be showing you how to build the fireplace using only vanilla and DLC assets with no building mods. First, I want to give credit where it's due. This build was inspired by a video posted on YouTube by macsloop featuring the core idea of a no mods fireplace. I originally built one more like his as a Christmas build, but this video will show a modified version. Full disclosure, this is my first build video, so please be patient with me and go easy on me in the comments. Alright, let's get started. Let's start by reviewing the building blocks of this fireplace. I've laid them out here. First, we start with two curved floor pieces from the concrete section of the build menu. These will be the foundation of the fireplace. I did not use these in my home plate build, but I did use them on my Christmas fireplace at Sunshine Tidings Co-op. Next up, we have two counters from the miscellaneous furniture section. These will serve as the sides of the fireplace. To create the mantle, we will use a metal cabinet from the container menu. macsloop's original fireplace used two counters glitched together, and that's a perfectly valid way to go if you prefer. The weapon rack you see here will eventually serve as the grill placed in front of the fire. This will involve some fun pillar glitching, which you will get to see later in this video. The shelf under it will attach to the metal cabinet for decorative items. The actual fire will be comprised of two campfires stacked on top of one another. I use two for multiple reasons. One, I want to increase the brightness of the fire, and two, the stacking gives the fire a bit more bulk to make it look like a lot of the wood is burning in there at one time. The conduit here is going to be one of our tools. It will be used in concert with a pillar and a third campfire for glitching and assembly. These two wood floor panels will be used to rug glitch the counters into place. I use these pieces because of the drop that occurs when you rug glitch. Again, all these assets are from the vanilla game plus DLC. So those are our materials, let's get building. We are going to be building the fireplace inside a shack I quickly threw together. I wanted to do this instead of just building it outside, because building inside a structure creates challenges that you would not necessarily face, say, outside in the dirt. Keep in mind, as we build this fireplace, the backs of the counters will stick out the back of the structure. I'll show one way which we can cover that up towards the end of this video. For now, let's focus on the fireplace itself. I'm going to begin by laying the floor pieces down. I use the lines on the floor of the structure to line one up, and then I'll be snapping its opposite side in. Next up, I'm going to stack some rugs to glitch the stacked campfires into place. It took me a few tries to figure out how many rugs would do this without the campfires completely sinking in. But 5 seems to do the trick. Put the campfire on the rug. And we're going to move the rug chain with the campfires in. Now when you do this, be sure to push the campfire a little bit into the wall, so the back edge cuts into the wall slightly. Centering the campfires will give us a guide to go by as we build the rest of the fireplace. Let's not waste these rugs, store them away. So there,
Never really much
the
good.
start.
The idea sounds great, but you get
Now we're
small
going to use the
increases in
floor
power,
pieces to
sometimes you
quote
can't
unquote
afford
rug glitch the counters on either side of the campfire stacks.
I'll do whatever it takes to earn back my family's
For those wondering, you absolutely can just stack a pile of rugs and do this. However, sometimes I've found when using rugs on these counters, things can get a little unpredictable. You can stack several rugs and then it sinks down just to where you want it, but then you have one or two left. And then you think, okay, I'll just eliminate those. And then you do a different number and then it drops differently than it did previously. So in terms of these particular counters, I have found using a floor piece such as this is the best way just to get it to drop exactly how I want it to. You're going to see me do a lot of back and forth adjustment on this next part. I wish I was one of those builders and YouTubers who nailed everything on their very first try. I really admire folks who can do that. I am most certainly not one of those folks, so bear with me here. All right, so now we've built what I consider to be the foundation for the fireplace. Next up, it's time for some serious glitching. Now we're going to finish up the build. For the next phase, we're going to be using the campfire to do some glitching. I first learned about using the campfire as a building tool from both the Insane Sheklador and Sardeliak. Both use this heavily in some of their videos, and I've linked to both their channels below. Trust me, if you haven't watched them, you can learn a lot from their channels. First, I'm going to position the third campfire where I will need the pillar to be able to eventually move up and down through the floor. If you're working in dirt, it's not an issue, but inside a structure, you will need something like the campfire to allow the pillar to go through the floor. Back outside, let's get the metal cabinet, conduit, and pillar. Line them up, and what we're doing is we're preparing to use the pillar to do a group select. The conduit allows me to get some distance between the pillar and where I will ultimately place the cabinet.
I'll do whatever it takes to earn back my family's trust.
Group select, and move the cabinet inside. The campfire allows us to control the vertical position of the cabinet, and the conduit gives us the reach to push it back against the wall. Once the cabinet is placed, let's move the pillar and the conduit outside for now. We are now going to glitch in the fireplace grill, which is an armor rack, a weapons rack. To do this, let's begin by moving the weapons rack to a permanent structure in the settlement that you did not build. Here at Finch Farm, I'm going to use the family's house, which is a permanent structure that pre-exists us finding the settlement. Other examples in other settlements include the walls in Hangman's Alley or one of the pre-existing houses in Sanctuary. Once again, we're going to bring the pillar and the conduit together as a tool. Group select the pillar and conduit, and then bring them to the weapons rack. Okay, group select again and bring the pillar conduit rack combination to the fireplace. Use the campfire glitch to push the weapon rack between the two counters. I'm doing it pretty fast here, but you will likely be able to play around a bit with the position of the campfire on the floor to make the vertical wood pieces in the weapons rack line up a bit more evenly. Where I placed them here, you'll notice one side is a bit thicker than the other. All you have to do is move that campfire maybe a little bit to the right in this case, and it will work out better. But this is just for demo purposes. Our last piece is the shelf, which you can attach to the metal cabinet. Alright, and there you have it. Our basic fireplace is complete, minus decorations. I mentioned earlier that the back halves of the counterpieces will be sticking out the back of your structure. In some settlements, this won't matter. For instance, home plate is an interior cell, so you can glitch things into the walls all day long, and they won't stick out when you are outside in Diamond City. Another example is Hangman's Alley, where the walls on either side are relatively deep, so you can glitch stuff in there and most likely you won't have to worry about it showing outside the settlement. In this quick and dirty example, I'm going to show two soda machines on a floor piece glitched into the counters. I'm doing quick adjustments here. You'd probably have to do some more micro adjustments to fully cover up the counters. You'll see a tiny bit of them still sticking out even once I stop adjusting. But this is just to give you an idea of what can be done. I imagine you could use other items, the milk machines, stacks of furniture, crates, and so on. Anything that can be glitched in.
I ever tell you about the time I was in Capital Wasteland?
Yes, Deacon. We know. Finally, let's take a look at our fireplace with decoration and some mood lighting. I like using build items with flames for the lighting to really give the fireplace area a warm, comfortable feeling. Decorating the mantle and the counters adds a nice lived-in feel. I also like adding a comfy chair nearby, though Deacon seems intent on standing for some reason. Use your imagination, decorate to your tastes, but most of all, be sure you have fun with it. And that will do it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you found this useful. You can see my galleries and write-ups on my Fallout 4 builds at wankosgeekery.com. Stay safe in the wasteland, folks. This is Ben Yee, signing off.